Hey there, everybody. Today is Wednesday, and I am getting ready to wrap up with some of the potting projects that I've been doing. But I had made a promise to you all to talk about some of the closed loop design and project work that we do around here. So let's take a look at some of the things that we've been doing. So, we are currently tearing apart the living room, which is uh, not the room directly there, but back that way. Um, but in tearing apart the living room, I came into the possession of a door or two. And so, this is something I wanted to do last year, but never really got around to. And so, I've just got a little bit of bracing from some of the 2x4s that we took out of the wall. Uh, and that's bracing the door frame. And then a little bit of scrap wood to hold the plastic in place, and then it shuts and it holds heat so much better than it did last year. I've already logged an 80-degree day inside the greenhouse, which, believe it or not, is wonderful in early March to be potting things up and transplanting and things. It's a little crowded in there with plants, and that's not really the topic of this video. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Door for the greenhouse that I took out of the real house. Let's look at another. Some of you may remember the tie downs and the way that we were training the tree branches on the apple tree over there. But as the branches get a little too thick for the air hose that I was using, there is another thing you can do with them if you don't have young trees with thin enough branches for you to use them on. They actually make probably the best 5-gallon bucket handles that you could ever hope for. I'm going to turn this way so you can see, but it's just a 3/8 inch air hose, but it fits perfect for my hand, at least. Your hand might prefer like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch air hose. Um, but for me, if I don't have a young tree that I need to train or anything like that, I just take these and slip them over the handles of the buckets that I have broken the crappy plastic on. So that lives on. You can see the same cut I make trying to get to put it around the branch. And it works great. I love it. It's so much more comfortable than carrying it on the wire or dealing with like those plastic handles when they crack and make it really uncomfortable to use. This is great. Let me show you another thing. We've got the garden aeration crew working overtime. You can see them working real hard. Working real hard to mix up all that mulch. Get a little aeration. Pull worms out. Good job, ladies. Keep up the good work. You folks might remember that last year I had set up a series of pallets on a wood chip bank for staging plants for bringing them to the truck or to market or just laying out in an organized fashion so that I could do quick counts and kind of figure out what I was going to take and what looked the best. And the blue pallets came with some bagged soil that someone was trying to get rid of last year. So this is this year's run of pallets, at least over in this area. But if I turn around, this is where I had another set. And I know it looks a little weird to have a pallet and then a blank space and then another pallet, but I actually did this just for you folks. So in here, besides this bit of grass, oh yeah, look at all that root that it was running. So in here, we had a whole bunch of plants on the pallet that was here and this pallet last year. And this pallet had far fewer plants. So I am not at the stage where I'm ready to take this one out of the system yet. But for the one that was here and the one that is here, the work that they did was so fantastic in capturing all of the water and all of the additional nutrient that may have seeped out and leached out of the pots, that coming in here is just the most wonderful smelling and feeling rotty bits of leaves and pine needles and wood chips that just fall apart in your hand. So the functional use of putting these pallets over a wood chip area and over the berm that keeps many of the droplets of water that come from the sky from running against the foundation of my house. Doing this has allowed us to kind of supercharge this berm in these two spaces. And so you can see right here, we had a particular pile of these wood chips. They're still undergoing some mycelial breakdown. But if we come over here just a little bit, oh, look at that little cricket. This is all just amazing, amazing stuff for new plants to grow in. And since this berm is serving as kind of a grow space for a visual barrier, for a privacy barrier for the home, my living room, it feels particularly good to have this breaking down in such a way as to facilitate greater and further plantings in a way where, say, the clethras that we were discussing the other day did not have the opportunity to go into something this nice. It's just all crumbly, rotty, and delicious. And plants placed in here would probably love it. We'll cover the wood chips that aren't done breaking down, and oh, see a little guy. We're just gonna cover you up a little bit, little guy, just so you stay protected from the cold tonight. So I'll probably come in here and plant some more things. I stuck a few of the 9 barks that I had done, and that's the Physocarpus opulifolia. I had stuck a few of them in this little space, and I'm sure I will come through and seed it out, or place additional flower cuttings in here so as to kind of boost the amount of biological activity going on in here. And then I'll just make sure to load that pallet up with a whole bunch of plants so that we can progress that space, that little 4-foot section, to the same point as right here and right here. And we'll just keep on running. So every project we do, because of our closed loop thinking and approach, is I have this project I'd like to do. What can I do with said project that will allow me to push a different project forward at the same time? And I would encourage all of you to think about approaching your projects in that way if you're not doing that already. And if you are doing that already, I hope you'll share with the rest of the group as to how you're approaching it, or what has worked well for you. What is a good project of yours that you would like to share with folks? I encourage you to do it. I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for new ideas. So till next time, thanks for watching. Happy planting.